I'm going to do a library nonfiction read a chapter, try a chapter, because I have a number of nonfiction books out, and I currently am reading kind of in the middle of 2 fiction books. I have some other nonfiction books on the go, but they're just not calling to me right now. They are books that I'm hoping to finish before the end of the year. But I'm going to have a lot of time to read over the next 2 weeks. So, yeah. And I may try and find an audiobook because I don't currently have an audiobook going. But for right now, I'm going to try Wanderers. This is a history of women walking by Carrie Andrews. And I think she basically looks at different women throughout history and how walking played in their lives. I know Virginia Woolf is featured in here. Dorothy Wordsworth is in here. Cheryl Strayed is in here. So I'm very curious about this one. All Things Are Too Small by Becca Rothfeld, Essays in Praise of Excess. This one is, I think, essays on kind of a counter to the minimalism life, mindfulness. Yeah, I think. So try those essays. Then we've got Forager Field Notes for Surviving a Family Cult by Michelle Dowd as a memoir. And I think this is about a cult that lived in the in Southern California mountains and pretty much got everything they needed from the land. Then we've got Splinters by Leslie Jamison. This is a memoir about Leslie Jamison's kind of end of a marriage. I think about her becoming a mother. And yeah, just kind of her experience through that. This one is The Last Human Job, The Work of Connecting in a Disconnected World by Allison Pugh. This one focuses on jobs becoming automated, you know, like self-checkouts in the grocery store. When you know, call customer service now, you always just get like an AI type thing. This one has no renewals on it, so if I'm at all interested in this one, which I read a little bit of this online and it was very interesting, I need to put this top of the stack if I want to read that one. And then The Complete Guide to Memory: The Science of Strengthening Your Mind by Richard Restak, which is pretty much what it says. I'm very curious about memory. I deal a lot with memory as a academic skill or aptitude in work. So yeah, I'm always interested in that. So I'm going to read a little bit of each of these books and kind of decide which one I want to read over the next few days. And you saw my video yesterday. Hopper, my cat, he is 14 and a half, basically. He's gotten very picky about what food he'll eat, and he was not having what I fed him yesterday morning. So I had to go and pick up an order anyway from the pet supply store, and it was of his favorite food that I had run out of. And he just told me that's not acceptable, Mother. So, but he's happy. He's happy now because he has the food he likes. Anyway, I'll be back in a little bit and let you know about some of these books. Welcome to Vlogmas day 19. Showed you a little clip from last night because basically you're getting the night before and the daytime. I was doing a try chapter with my library books because, I mean, we know I just have too many library books out. Not going to be able to read them all, which I don't usually expect to read all of my library books, but I did want to try them out. So let's talk about it. This first one, The Wanderers by Carrie Andrews, A History of Women Walking. I like the writing style, and I do want to read this. You can hear the cat going around the house. He thinks, because I'm sitting on the floor in front of the Christmas tree, because I thought, why am I not filming in front of the Christmas tree? And he thinks it's time to play. So you may see him jumping around. Anyway, this book, I really liked the writing style. It starts off with a bit of a harrowing trek for Carrie Andrews and her husband and a friend on a mountain in, I think, Scotland. And as someone who does not care for heights, it was intense for me. But I did really like the writing style. I am going to keep this one out from the library in case I dip into it after the holidays. This was the one that kind of spurred on the library try chapter because this is due back. No renewals. Someone else is waiting on it. And so I wanted to see if I would be interested in this one. This is The Last Human Job, The Work of Connecting in a Disconnected World by Alison Pugh. I have mentioned that I read a little bit of Alison Pugh's writing online, which is how I got interested in this book anyway, and I am very interested in it. This has a connection to a goal that I'm going to be working on, or a project, let's call it a project I'm going to be working on in 2025 from some of my nonfiction TBR. And I did find it on audio on Hoopla. So I think I'm going to hold off on this one and get to it in 2025 as part of that project. So stay tuned for that. The Complete Memory, The Science of Strengthening Your Mind by Richard Restak. So I started reading this and it really felt like a work book. I work in psychology. We deal a lot with memory and the brain and functioning and cognitive abilities and all that kind of stuff, which are all very important things. However, I'm going to be on vacation for 2 weeks. So I am going to put this off because it just reads like work. And I don't want to be reading things that feel like work. So we're going to take that one back. All Things Are Too Small by Becca Rothfeld, Essays in Praise of Excess. I could not get into the writing of this. And it may just be me. My brain needs a break from juggling a bunch of things. Yeah, so I've seen good reviews of this now since I hadn't heard of it, or it caught my attention when I went to the library. So I got it out, and then I did a little research and found that a couple of people on Instagram that I follow had been talking about this, and I'm not gonna read it, but I'm not gonna read it right now because I could not get into it. Then I read Foragers. I read a chapter of Foragers, Field Notes for Surviving a Family Cult by Michelle Dowd. This is a memoir. This is about a family who lives on this like compoundish type setting in Southern California, I think in the 70s or 80s. And they forage for food and things like that. I like the writing style. A family cult is very interesting to me. Just the whole, how it's set up, the psychology of it, what makes people get involved in it or start it, which is sort of what this book is going to look more at. Michelle Dowd's grandfather who started the cult. And I really like it. I'm gonna keep this one out and hopefully get to it. I did also, I think this is the one I found on audio as well. And then I read a little bit of Splinters by Leslie Jamison. The first chapter, it's about her divorce, and well, we start with her divorce, and her daughter is 13 months old, and I really like the writing style, and I'm very interested in this, so I'm going to keep this one out as well. So that's kind of how the library try chapter went. So I'm going to take these 3 back. I'm interested in them, just not right now. This one I'm going to keep out as a maybe, and these 2 I'm hoping to read. I'm pretty sure I can find Leslie Jamison's on audio as well. And honestly, just energy level, because this is my thinking, is because the weather keeps going hot and cold in Atlanta, I'm getting a lot of headaches, and I think it's related to the weather. So physically reading has been a bit of a challenge. So finding all these on audio. One of my libraries has really good options on Hoopla. I wish it was more consistent, but I guess it just depends on where you live. Yeah, so that's how we feel about the nonfiction library books. Let's finish up the 12 Days of Beauty for our last day. What is it? Okay, see, this makes, okay. Another Luminex project, which I just really don't understand. I mean, I guess it's beauty. So we already got the Luminex. What did we get? We got Luminex Redness Reliever Eye Drops. I guess that can be considered beauty. And these are whitening strips for teeth. So I guess these can be beauty too. So, I don't know. This has been an interesting, I think, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 out of 12 products I would probably use. And I'm pretty sure, I think I paid 20 bucks for this. So I would call this a win. This is the Lent Advent calendar. Let's find 19. Where is 19? 19's all the way up here. And a gold ball. This is a solid milk chocolate ball. So, very excited for a piece of chocolate. I will say for these, and I can't remember how much I paid for this. It was probably around $20 too. I wish it was the biggest size, the bigger size, like if you bought a bag of Lent truffles, or yeah, I think they're called truffles. You know, it would be a like golf ball size chocolate. These are like a marble size chocolate, so it's fine. I just like chocolate. But yeah, so that's day 19. I hope you all are having a great week, and I'll be back tomorrow with a reading check-in, which is probably the last reading check-in I'm gonna do until after Christmas. Yeah, so haven't really read that much. I'm kind of in the middle of several big books, so we'll talk about those tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.